We are presenting 3 patients showing characteristic symptoms of stuporous catatonia. These patients have been hospitalized from 5 to 15 years, and their stupor is not as complete as it was during the acute stages of their illness. The behavior and attitude of these patients, however, has not changed for several years. The leading symptom is immobility and lack of activity. Most of the time, they seem to be oblivious of their environment. Their faces are fixed, and changes of expression, if they occur, are usually due to fantasies or voices which they hear in hallucinations. Other typical symptoms of this condition are negativism, mutism, waxy flexibility, automatic obedience. We will show you these patients first for some time without stimulating them directly, other than by the camera and lights. How are you today? How are you? How are you today?
All right. How is everyone? Did you like my video? Have you all come over from Ethan's stream? Did you enjoy him? He's going off to burn his face some more. Jabba the Coach, you would have preferred the Neighbours theme. Could have maybe arranged that. Maybe maybe one of our wonderful creators will sing it for us. Now, did someone say that I've been declammed? What's going on? Let me have a look. Hey, that's not appropriate. Let me fix that. We can't have a declamming going on. I can't have I can't have this. All right, I'm gonna kick myself and then come back in. How's that? Did that come through? Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, I guess we'll be dancing like Michael Jackson tonight. After update avatar to the blood muscle. Oh, the blood muscle. What's the blood muscle? Dingery-doo. Hello, Mr. Dongs. Hello, Bogdan Digital D-drum underscore NL. A bit of the old ultraviolence. Oni64, Gabatrans brethren. And you want me to show my game? I need tomorrow. I'm working on it. Tomorrow I've got a new avatar that I'm making for it. Command and Conquer dude. Hopefully no Jamie Foxx today. No, actually. Hello, Jamie, if you're listening. But no, there is no Jamie Foxx today that I know of. But he may come on. You never know. All right. Linkovic Chomovsky. I appreciate that you gave Testy a warning countdown so he can start up a stream 1 minute before this. You're a good man, Oz. Yeah, anyone is Testy in here or is he in his own stream? What's going on with that? Has he done any streams at all yet? Because he's supposed to be destroying my channel. You'll all be happy to know that Liam, despite his crazy videos, he's sound asleep in his bed as we speak. Is he still streaming that punk vid? No. That was Testify's plan. Someone's here under their other account. What? Jeff Muth. Why are you using another account? I don't have mods. I don't ban anyone here. You don't need another account. But if you've got two accounts, subscribe with both of them. Liam deleted all his videos. Yeah, Robert, I know. Well, he's privated them. What am I doing in Liam's room? I'm trying to get all his subs. I'm trying to get the password for his modem. All right, so tonight we've got a cool show. We're going to bring in 3 patients and we're going to examine them and we're going to see how they tick, and they're going to 2 of them are going to perform for us, and one of them is just going to have a deep and meaningful philosophical conversation with us. All right, so I'll bring them in one at a time. You're on stream.
What's up?
So, thanks, Collie. Synex.com at SparkySyn.
Yeah, those would be my links. Okay. Man, I'm a little out of camera here. Okay. I'm an American. I am from the Midwest originally, a place called Iowa. And I've been a musician for 16 years. I've played all over the country. And for a while, I actually lived out in Hollywood, California. I joined a band out there. I kind of did like the typical, dream thing where I joined an established band and played lead guitar for years out in Hollywood, and actually got to headline some of the best venues out there, like the Whiskey A Go-Go, and I got some sponsors and did a lot of really cool stuff. And then, and like bands do, we ended up going separate ways. And since then, I make electronic dance music, and I make a lot of different styles of music. Currently, I'm working on solo stuff. My links are in my name, and yeah, I do a lot of different mixes of stuff, but currently I've been street performing, and I actually am in Savannah, Georgia right now, where I've been doing a lot of street shows, and you know, the world kind of ended as I was here, and you know, actually street performing now almost has more room than regular shows at venues because you can't really play at venues really. So, but yeah, I plan to hit venues and stuff again. I mean, you're in Australia. I want to go to Australia. Like the goal here is I want to, you know, go to Australia and Japan at least once or twice a year. I'm kind of rambling, but like I actually ended up,
go on.
yeah. I actually just today got an email. I was supposed to be playing at this World Championship Talent Festival in Japan in November, and they kept postponing, saying we're not sure what's going to happen. And I was like, oh yes, because all I wanted to do is like go perform in Japan, you know. And then this morning, I got an email that said they're canceling it, and it's like, you know, coronavirus. So, and that was in November, and so, you know, I'm not gonna be able to hop from Australia to Japan and start doing that thing yet. But yeah, I don't know. You know, so I play piano and guitar. I do a little singing, and
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to like, if I put you on full screen, what are you going to do for us today?
I might do a little like shredding. I didn't know how much time you had devised for me. You know, I have a few things set up that I can do. I might just kind of show you some shredding and a little bit of melodic stuff that I'm doing. Like I have songs that I sing and stuff, but I'm not sure the rig that I have set up right now. I'm going to be doing that. You know, I'll just show you some cool stuff. One of the weird things that I'm doing right now that I do that is really unique. It's one of the things I always do when I street perform is, I wear tap dance shoes, and then I have tap dance shoes along with wearable tambourines and castanets. And then I use my feet to keep rhythm while I play over it. And it's a pretty awesome, you know, bit for street performing because you're kind of a one-man band. And I do plan to translate that into venues, and I have that set up right now. Whether it's going to feed back and start screeching, I'm not sure. Like you know, I already kind of explained a little bit off screen, but it's very experimental right now. But we'll, you know, it's all direct line.
I have absolute faith in you, my friend.
Okay, yeah, it's all good.
So, do you want me to count you in, or do you just want to rip away?
You know, we'll just go for it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I don't know how long you want me to go for. Yeah, right on.
Awesome.
You can hear people clapping.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually have stuff with backtracks and stuff, but I don't know how much time. Like, how long do you typically do this? Is this like a long thing, or?
Yeah, we can go for a couple of hours, man.
Oh wow, right on.
Yeah. So whatever you want to do. So you would just want to stick around. Let's bring in Colette.
Okay, so we're gonna jump back and forth.
Is that cool with you?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I'll hang out. That's fun.
Yeah. Unless if you've got something you like, if you've got the vibe going and you want to keep jamming, you can keep jamming.
No, we can bounce back and forth. I kind of find that
Sweet.
fun. I'd like to see what these other people are doing.
All right,
And then we can come back to me, and I have more stuff set up. So,
cool. All right,
All
no
right.
worries.
Yep.
All right,
Awesome.
Collie.
How's it?
I might just get you to mute your mic for a sec, Sinks.
Yep.
All right. So Collie, is that how we say it? Am I pronouncing it properly?
Cola.
Colette.
Yes, that's how you say it.
Now, Colette, we had you on briefly yesterday in one of your videos. So is this your first live performance?
No, not my first live performance.
Oh, good.
Hopefully, it will be my best live performance yet.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Now you're going to. What are you going to do for us today?
Well, okay. So, my name is Cola, and I was asked to talk a bit about Comicsgate today.
Okay. Cool. Go for it.
Why do people find it so hard to balance things? We're stuck between overly sensitive people and sociopaths who have zero emotion. It's like comics is the home of social outcasts. Oh, wait. Yeah, so currently there's a bit of a divide in Comicsgate between War Campaign and Ethan and so on. And people ask me, Kola, where do you stand? I stand on the other side of the world, bitch. So, yeah. I'm sorry, but
Don't apologize. You're great, man. You're great. Keep going.
No. That's part of my stuff. It's like, I'm sorry, but am I the only one who sees the irony in Cecil giving the $3,000 back? Well, his campaign is actually named Cash Grab. So, what's he doing? Taking your money by giving it back. Cecil, you're doing it wrong. So, while on the topic of money, it looks like it will at least be a good year for mainstream comics financially. Making less unsellable books will mean they make a smaller loss. Yeah, so who would have thought that our post office could actually get more useless than it was? I'll be lucky if I get any comic skate books this year. It went from a lady behind the glass counter going, "The system is offline," to just no lady behind the counter. Yeah, and so in 2020, we don't even need SJWs to cancel stuff for us. COVID took care of it. Comic Con in South Africa has been cancelled. Rage was cancelled. E3 was cancelled. Sorry. So, uh, uh, SJWs actually just seem like a common cold next to COVID in terms of cancellations. Yep. Can't tell the difference. Yeah, so hope you all have a wonderful day. And yeah, so fingers crossed for the Comics Gate convention. That still happens 2021. I'd actually like to meet a lot of you.
Wow, that was
Yeah,
fantastic. That was fantastic, Cole.
thanks.
Mm. Wow. All right, there you go, guys. That was Collie. That was amazing. Lee, what did you think of that?
Oh my god! Does anyone else like smell toast right now? I feel like I just had a heart attack. I should have done some research before I came on this.
Sorry, what?
I should have done some research before I came on this.
Why? What would your research have gathered you? Like, how would it have prepared you?
For the multiple brain aneurysms I just had.
Right. Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, it's been a trip.
Yeah.
It is 11:30 where I am, and it is still too early for this.
11:30 at night or in the morning?
In the morning.
Yeah.
Isn't it like 2 a.m. We're in Australia?
Oh yeah. We're going hardcore, my friend. We're an hour and we're probably an hour and a bit late tonight because Ethan had a pre-stream show, so we just let that run, and then people start coming into this one. All right, we're gonna flick back to Sinks, and he's gonna perform some more for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Sparky Sin of SinX. Have you ever heard of Triumph, the insult comic dog?
Oh yes.
Okay, yeah. Don't even think I have to go any further. There you go. That's like
he would be Cole's
relative
sodomizer.
Oh man, yeah. You could only imagine those two in a room together. Oh jeez. Okay. Where was Coley from?
He's from South Africa.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all over the world here right now.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. That's cool. You said it's like 2 a.m. Yeah, that's like how are you doing with the lockdown? Is that still like hardcore in Australia?
As Australia, we sort of we just shut our borders, and because we're an island, we sort of solve the problem.
Yeah.
So we've had 0 cases where I am for a few weeks now.
Yeah, what's crazy is that, like, okay, I'm in Georgia, and just the state of Georgia, we've had 60,000 cases, which is more than 5 times all of Australia just by itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we just do whatever we want.
Rock on. That's what we want to hear.
Pretty much. We just opened everything. Like, Georgia's just like, we're going to,
What are you gonna do?
We opened everything. We're do whatever we want now. So,
yeah. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do exactly? All right. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to do an improvisation over a backtrack. And again, since this whole setup is very experimental, hopefully the audio levels are proper because we're not going to know until it starts happening. So, all right. You ready, man?
We're all ready, man.
Oh, geez. It's like some Pink Floyd stuff. All right.
All right.
That backtrack
right.
is really, really long, so I'm not gonna.
Well, it is Floyd, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll go on. Like we could have been sitting here for 15 minutes. I think you get the point, right?
Yeah, man.
So, for sure.
Cool. All right, colleague, can you kick your puppet? I can't handle looking at your puppet for the whole show. Just turn off your camera.
Sure you do.
Ooh, sad dog. Sad dog noises.
All right, Lee. Tell us about you, my friend.
Oh, am I? See, I didn't know there was a performance piece to this. I thought there was just like a bikini.
No, there's not a performance piece to this. I just found Sinks online, and he was just outstanding. So I thought I'd bring him in and showcase his talents to the audience so that they can go out and find him in Georgia. And he's going to be traveling around the world, so you never know. He might end up where we are. He might even end up at Fan Fest for the fans, whatever we're calling them, whatever we're calling the convention next year. So Lee, yeah, tell us about yourself, man.
I don't know. Give me like a more specific question.
All right. I saw you commenting on a comic book website. On Twitter, with regard to the latest. Was it to do with the latest sexual assault allegations? Was that where I saw you? Are you interested in comic books, Lee?
More animation
Right.
than comic books.
What kind of animation are you into?
I mean, I studied 2D because it's easier. You do like just on like a single computer. You get like a fancy rig.
So are you interested in making animation, are you?
I mean, that's the dream. It's a far off dream because I mean, like, every asshole thinks he can make a TV show.
Right.
Yeah.
And what have you made? Like what sort of things have you made? What are you making?
I mean, I've done like class stuff, for school, and that's just like basic loops and shit. So like nothing like narrative.
Are you making a show at the moment?
At the moment, no. That's what I said. It's a very it's a pipe dream, really. I don't have any true ambition toward it.
Okay. All right.
It's better to say like, oh yeah, I'm like into animation than just like, oh, I'm all about like, going into work, coming home.
Mm-hmm. And are you working at the moment, or are you furloughed, or what's happening?
I work at a university, so
Yep.
I mean, like, we go on break during the summer anyways.
Right. Right.
But
So are
like
you studying or are you just working there?
working.
Okay. So I'm having a look at your Twitter bio, and it says Lee Morgan burner. So is this as in your burner account? Is that right?
Yeah, I guess it was.
Okay. Just working out.
I lost the password or to like the original. So then
Okay.
it was main. I don't know. It's there's like a lot of like abandoned bits.
Okay. So your tagline here is political economics film media studies. Big Green, what's that?
That's where I went to college. Dartmouth.
And ACE, what's that?
Asexual.
Oh, okay. And Eat the Rich,
Ah.
what's that?
Quasi socialist. I mean, it's like immoral to have billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it means.
Okay. He, him. So you got pronouns there.
Huh?
Okay. Animation we discussed. What's TTRPG?
Tabletop role playing games.
Oh, okay.
Pathfinder and such.
All right. Which role playing games do you like?
I mean, like D&D 5e, but like I like playing D&D 5e, but like I like reading Pathfinder.
Right.
I can imagine ever playing Pathfinder because it's just like thousands of spreadsheets.
Okay.
With unless you're a computer, but I don't know. It's like fun to imagine.
Okay. Now it says, and so do you play regularly? Like, do you have a group of people that you play with? Because you mentioned when I messaged you to come on, you mentioned that you hadn't spoken to anyone in ages.
Yeah, no, I don't have a regular group right now.
You don't have a regular group. Okay. How come?
I'm in work. I've been mostly just focusing on like, overtime, paying off loans. So I really have not done much of anything like
right.
a year.
Cool. Well, I get that. And film / video production. So do you have films? Like, do you YouTube? Like, do you have anything on YouTube?
I have like some of my like early animation stuff.
Okay. Do you have a channel?
Yeah.
If you want to bring it up and share it, we can have a look at some of it.
Sure. Let's see.
Now, Lee, your pinned tweet is, "I would trade all of the information I know for a single friend."
Yeah. That's
Explain
more
that to me.
help than anything else.
It's a cry for help.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a lonely guy. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, at times, TV does a lot. There's a lot of TV. It's a great distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's a golden age of television.
Do you like drink or smoke pot or anything like that?
Yeah, heavy drinker.
Okay. And is that because, like, obviously you're drinking alone? Is that because, like, it's just something to pass the time, or what?
It's usually I like rewatching shows that I've already watched, and if I know there's like a good episode coming up, I'll just get like wasted.
Yeah.
Like elevate the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done this wasted? Like if you know a show's coming up, it's 2 a.m. Just get smashed.
Yeah. I tend to I tend to make sure that I'm thoroughly stoned before I do this show.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I wish I was warned. I could have been on some kind of elevated level.
No, your level is fine. Your level is fine. Do you have a camera at all, so we can see who we're talking to?
Oh, sure. Like I'm just about to get doxxed.
No, not docs.
Okay, I'm sitting in the dark because this isn't depressing enough. Fuck, you still can't see.
Hang on a sec. Let me bring you up. I'm just gonna hide this banner. Oh, we can see you.
It's been like 4 months since I got a haircut. So, not great.
Oh, you're an all right looking fellow.
Right, let's see if I can open some blinds. There we go. That's some actual light.
Yeah, cool. All right. So let's just have a look at your Twitter here. I'm going to find out a little bit about you from your Twitter. I'm going to hang on, let me just turn on tweets and replies because I'm trying to find the exact tweet where I found you, and because then I think that's very interesting for our listeners where I found you. So while I do this, tell me about your daily routine. Like, what do you normally do in a day? What gets you up and going?
I don't know, sleep in. I mean, like it's weird right now because I got like shit to do. So sleep in like an unconscionable amount of time. Waste away on Twitter. Watch some Netflix.
You live in the dream.
Yeah. For now.
So here we go. This is where I know you from. Jen Bartel. All right. So yesterday, when we were on our show, we were having a look at this situation where a couple of comic book professionals have been outed as being sexual predators, and we were discussing it, and we were going through Jen Bartel's. And do you remember this? When was this? This is 2 days ago or 1 day ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I read this, I thought I've got to get you on the show. Now, all right. So let's just go through quickly what Jen said. She said, "One thing I'd like to see moving forward is for established pros to stop viewing comic conventions as an opportunity to meet girls. If you're invited as a guest, you're there in a professional capacity. If you can't behave accordingly, let that comped travel go to someone else." And you responded, "The myth is preached that the success a nerdy kid will have in the future can be parlayed into getting girls. As Hannah Gatsby says, we are not preparing our young boys for the real world." She was talking about how Donatello doesn't belong in the I think you meant TMNT universe.
Oh yeah.
But I still think it applies.
Teenage.
Now, this sounds insane to me, Lee. You need to walk me through this. What does this mean?
I mean, do I go backward to forward or front to back?
Explain to the... I know who Hannah Gatsby is because she's Australian, but explain to the rest of the world who Hannah Gatsby is.
Big on ABS. That's like where she got her start.
On what, sorry?
Like the Australian Broadcasting, whatever.
ABC, yeah.
Like PBS, basically.
Yeah, better quality, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's a comic. Like her debut, or not really debut, but like her big break was Nanette, which like I don't think is the best. It's all right. But she has a new one called Douglas, which is pretty good on Netflix, I think. And she's basically talking about how like Donatello was before the Italian High Renaissance and therefore doesn't belong. Because like Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Raphael were on the High Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
It's a silly joke. I mean, it lands. But yeah, I mean, like there's like there's a lot of like stories in television shows because most sitcoms have like the All American Family and like one of the kids is like a nerdy boy, and is always told that like oh, it's okay to be like nerdy now because you'll get like a tech job, like a big tech job in the future, and like that'll be you can parlay that into getting girls.
Right.
I mean, I think that's just like a silly thing to like why would you want that to be like your ambitions is to get girls?
Do you think that, I mean, I would suggest that the majority of the audience and perhaps Sinks here. Let me ask Sinks. Sinks.
Sin X.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, the freaking.
Tell me.
If Google reads it out loud, that's what it says too. So I guess if you want to go that route, either way, whatever, it's all good.
What's your opinion on having a goal to date women, or having a goal to meet women?
Do you guys really want to know? Yeah. Yeah, I'm all about it.
Or men?
I'm single.
I mean, I don't know. Are you...
No, women. No,
it's women. Okay.
Not their. Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm all about that. I mean, I'm single. I think it's fun. I like the pursuit and the idea of kind of doing something to lure people in and see who is attracted to it. I don't know. Some people might find that dumb, and maybe it is dumb. But it's like, you either could like get a family and go that route, or you can kind of like go around and see what kind of fish you can find. I don't know. I'm more interested in the comic book stuff. You guys are talking about the Comic-Con stuff and all that. Like, I'm totally into that stuff, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, you guys talk about that. Yeah.
You like comics?
Yeah. I mean, like Comic-Con, obviously, like, everybody loves Marvel, and, all that kind of stuff. You talk about like board games and all that. I'm way into that. Like, you guys, do you know the show Tabletop, the online show? At all?
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Does he know? He might. I don't know.
You know, Lee? Tabletop.
Is that like a show?
Will Wheaton. I'm going too deep. All right, never mind. It's fine. Yeah, it's a show where all they do is they play different board games all the time, and it's actually on regular TV.
Yeah.
You've seen it, or do you know?
Like I watched like a couple episodes.
Okay. Yeah, right on. Yeah, I'm into that stuff too. I'm kind of a nerd, but a lot of people are nowadays.
Do you pick up heaps of chicks on the street?
I mean, yeah and no, depends, it works. It just depends on who, that's kind of the fun in all of it, right? It's kind of what I said, the pursuit of, you don't really know who's going to be into what you're doing. The bit of even just standing on a street corner and performing, with as far as that goes, is an entirely different concept that like a lot of women can't even handle that idea that somebody would do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of one of those like things where some are intimidated, and then you'll have some that are all about it, right? And
right.
Yeah, street performing is certainly a different concept. Like, I've, like I said, I've played in venues, I played bars, and that's way easier because the people that are there, it's like you're the king of that building, right? Like, you kind of become the man by being there. But a street performer, you don't know, your audience is everyone. So like anyone walking past, which gives you potential for way more stuff, but you don't know how they're going to react, which is fun, but it's also nerve-wracking. you kind of almost just sit and try to play to lure people in. Like when I talk about fishing, it's almost like you got to sit there and play something that's going to bring these people near you that don't know anything about you or, anything.
Mm.
And even no matter what you're doing, you'll still get those people that look at you like you're a psycho. You could do anything and they'll do that. You could be a freaking world-class, greatest piano player in the world and they'll still just be like, why are you in the street right now? But the thing is, man, I totally want to go to Australia for the street performing scene. Like Melbourne, I've heard it's just, that's one of the best scenes in the whole world for that stuff. So,
yeah, Melbourne's great. Bourke Street's great.
Yeah, and one of the best things about street performing, this is what attracted me into this so much, is that you don't just have to play on the streets. Like what I've done, there's these things you probably know because you're from Australia, but a lot of people in America don't. Is busker festivals, right? Street performing festivals, which is like with that Japanese thing I was telling you about, that thing, a contest. You go to these things and it's a festival where everyone performs on the street and you can make good money. Obviously the people come in and you get to keep all your tips, but then the place that hires you also pays you. And if you tour around doing busker festivals, you can make a lot of money. Like, it's actually like a really cool alternative way to entertain people that I didn't even know about it till like a couple years ago, this idea, because in America it's not as popular, but it's fun. It's like the circus. Like that's totally what it, like you probably know, you're from Australia. Like there's the scene there is a lot different than what we do here. Like you guys get to have fire juggling, like,
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a circus performer.
Yeah. Oh man, I love the circus. I would love to be a part of the circus. That's like why busker festivals to me are like about as close as I can get, because like I've been hired at them, and like you get to hang out with these people that can juggle fire and ride unicycles and sword swallow and do crazy fire tricks and all these things that normally a musician isn't really going to be a part of a circus or something. So like it's a way to get in with those people, and I find those people totally interesting. It's like, how do you even start doing that? That's always been my concept, right? Like I think today I'm just going to start like swallowing fire. So
It depends who you drink with.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, no doubt.
So how many chicks would you pick up in a year? Like, let's be honest.
Oh man, I don't know. It depends on the year. This has been the worst year of all time.
last year.
Oh man, I don't even want to do that. We're not going to put numbers on that. Yo, no way, man. Nah. It depends, man. It totally is like a thing where it just depends. I'm not all.
I'm gonna say 52. I reckon it's one each week.
It's every second. I've got girls knocking on the door right now. Whatever. No, it's like no, dude. Yeah, there's one, you can't see her. She's below the camera right now. It's pretty crazy in here right now. No,
she's doing the symbols.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, cool. All right, I'm just going to mute you for a sec so I can chat to Lee a bit more. All right, Lee. So what do you think? What do you think about that situation that he's found himself in? You think that that's a bad situation, or do you think that that's pretty fucking awesome?
I mean, but it's not his reason of being, is it? Like you play music first and foremost because you like music, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah. I unmuted myself. Yeah, man. Yeah, you totally get it. No, I want to be part of the conversation. It's like, yeah, no, it's for music. I spend so much more time by myself practicing and working on music. It's not like you work so hard for that 5 seconds in front of these people. So, it's not like I'm sitting there going, oh, I can't wait to have sex with someone while I'm playing. Yeah, man, it's all about the music, but yeah, the benefits are cool. So remute myself. Here, I can just lower the volume.
The benefits are cool, Lee.
Everyone
the benefits are cool.
Healthcare, pension, wet dick.
Yeah, and that's definitely another route. Like I don't get any of that stuff. I ran my own computer business for quite a while too. Like I've done regular stuff. I just was really in the corporate world with that. Like I had my own computer repair business and I did music my whole life. And like I said, I moved to Hollywood, and then there was a time where I started doing business stuff. And then it was like, I just was like, what am I doing? And for me, it was like I had my passion is music, and I kind of dropped. I was making a lot of money. Okay. So like I had this awesome thing set up, but I'm like, the stability isn't my, I don't know. That's not what I'm seeking. I want to travel. You heard what I said earlier. To me, if I don't have like this stable stuff, I'm able to do anything I want. Like if I wanted to, I could, if the world would let me, I could go to Japan right now, and but not everybody wants to do that. I totally understand that. That's not a normal thing at all. It's just my goals are to travel the world. Like I told you, I'm actually in an RV right now. Let's put a weird spin on what's going on right now. I'm in an RV.
Let's put a weird spin on what's going on right now. That's what we need.
Yeah, I'm in an RV right now. I'm in an RV in Savannah. That's what I'm doing. So I am set up to travel at all times. And I was street performing. That. Can I prove it?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really want to show the whole damn thing. I don't know. I think a simple way to prove it would be you just open both windows on either side of me. See how I open windows on either side? What sort of weird room would I be in that could do that? Unless it's a freaking RV. So, but we got to keep the cool lighting, so we're gonna lower them.
Lee, would you live in an RV for your passion?
Does it like have running water, or is it like you have to go to a park?
No, it is everything: refrigerator, microwave, stove, bathroom, everything. It's everything. So
you've got a toilet in your van.
It's not a van. It's a 28-foot Class C RV. Like it's pretty big.
Shit.
Yeah, it's like a real thing. I wouldn't live full time in something small. I mean, I've thought about it, but this is nice. Like I don't, one person. You bring other people involved, that would be probably a problem. I've seen other people. Full-time RV life is not for everyone. I will tell you that. 99% of people probably wouldn't want to do this. It's a whole different concept. But it's interesting. You can move your house anywhere in the world, like not in the world, obviously, but if I wanted to, I just go to Florida right now, and then boom, I'm there, and I live there. So I don't know. That's a weird thing, but
Linkovich Chomovsky says, "Come to the Florida Fan Fest."
Is that? What are we talking about with Fan Fest?
That's next year. So we're organizing it's like a comic book convention.
That's fantastic. Like, I wouldn't say I'm way into comic books, but I will say I'm way into Marvel, right? Marvel movies, the MCU. But who isn't, right? It's the greatest thing ever. But
yeah. Who isn't into Marvel? Yeah.
I can't imagine somebody, it's like you don't know if you're not into it. You know what I mean? It's like, did you see any of the stuff that happened? Like, you don't have any idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Films are definitely like the pinnacle.
There's no doubt. That's like the greatest thing. There's nothing they can even explain. When you talk about comic books, man, I'll tell you a weird story that I had is Comic-Con happened in where I'm from is Iowa. It's Des Moines. It's really small. Stan Lee came to Comic-Con in Des Moines, which like they'll come because it's the novelty that like Iowa is so out in the middle of nowhere that actually there's more nerds, right? Because they're like, it's more like people have to escape, okay, from their own reality. Like there's a lot of gamers and stuff. And he came out there and I was going to buy tickets and I waited too long and I thought I was going to meet Stan Lee. It was $500 for VIP tickets to meet him and hang out with him for 2 hours. And then I go to buy the tickets and I waited too long. I waited like I waited too long. Okay. And I could have bought these tickets and then I went to buy them and I thought I was going to go and then the tickets were gone. And then dude, I'm not even joking. I was like crying. because he doesn't go to every one, right? He doesn't go to any, and then he died that year.
So you got to
freaking
see
horrible.
him in his prime.
I could have. Well, that was right during, right after Ragnarok, I think it was when he went to our Comic-Con, and I was just like, Thor Ragnarok's probably my favorite one of all of them. It's definitely top 5. I freaking love that movie. Okay. So like that just came out and I saw it in theaters 2 times and I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to go see the guy that invented everything. But then I didn't get to, and then I spent like days like wanting to die.
Right.
You know, because dude, he's the man. Like there is no one ever. He's Walt Disney of our time. Well, now he's not of our time, right? I mean, he is it? Yeah.
All right, Lee.
Yes.
So tell me about. Are you interested in Marvel comic books?
The comic? No.
No.
Like again, don't read comics.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, what do you read? What do you like to read?
I just got the Deficit Myth. It's a great book. Stephanie Kelton. But modern monetary theory, which is the idea that because the government can create fiat money, like the deficit doesn't really matter. So
Right.
That's what I'm reading right now. Before that, it was Joseph Stiglitz, Price of Inequality.
So you think that the government could just abandon all debt?
Well, the U.S. government.
Yeah.
We have the greenbacks.
So you could just print out. Like how would it work if you just abandoned all debt? Explain it to us.
I mean, there is like you reach a certain limitation where like inflation does increase, but like currently like inflation has remained near zero for like the past decade, like no matter like what the government does. And the idea is that you can trade sorry, what's the word? Stimulus for debt. So like as the government pumps money into the economy, the Fed takes on more debt and then just like writes it off. So it like at the same time as you're putting money into the economy, you're taking it out.
Mm-hmm. Right. Interesting. What are your views on the protests that are going on at the moment?
Like which ones? There's always so many.
The BLMs.
I mean, support. I mean,
What about what do you think about the whole Antifa issue?
I mean, it's not really that big of an issue. I'm like, what? Like a couple of targets get knocked down. That's what like. That's like what the church is for.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's get Synax on. Give us a big riff, Synax.
A big riff.
Yeah. Riff us out.
Riffing.
Woo. Cool. Man, I would just love to thank you for coming on today, Synax.
Oh, you want me to give you I'll give you like a badass thing to end if that's what we're doing right now?
Yeah, man.
Is that what we're going for? Okay.
Yeah. Rock on, dude.
Man, I
Do you
didn't
wanna-
have my guitar on the whole time.
Nah, that was cool. We got to see your finger work.
Yeah. Like I told you before the show started, I put new batteries in this. Ever since I got this guitar, I'd had the same batteries in it, and I've watched this slowly dim, which actually the dim lights make it better because you can see my fingers. It's too bright. There's no way to adjust it either. I wish there was, but it looks like a lightsaber when it's too bright, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there anything you want to plug before we boot you out?
Yeah, the thing is, guys, that is why I named myself synx.com. That's my website. It links you to all of my social media, but I also put my social media on there. That at Sparky Sin is everything. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Snapchat, and I'm on all these things that I don't necessarily use. I would really appreciate if you go follow my Twitter. Like that's where we were communicating. I have like no followers on there. I have no idea how to get followers. I post just as much as my other platforms, but nobody's following me. So what can you do? So try to follow me there. But I mean, I'm on Facebook, and like Facebook seems to have the most success for me. But yeah. By the way, how did you find me? That's something I was interested in.
That is the my superpower is finding people like yourself.
No, it's a secret. You just realize.
No, it's not secret. I just I can't remember exactly what I typed in, but it was something along the line of like cool street performers.
Really?
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, like did you look up hashtags? Is that what it was?
Nope.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, because it also helps me to know how you found me, because then I'll know what to do next time. Because that's cool that you found me. I'm glad.
Right. Do hashtag street performer, hashtag guitar,
that's
hashtag metal.
Yeah. You named everything I do every time. Yeah, street performing, busking, busker.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome, shred. It's generic crap that probably billions of other people use, but that's cool that you found me. That's awesome
No
stuff.
worries, man.
So you actually think
if you're willing, we'll have you on again later on.
Oh, I'm totally down. Yeah. So you said you're gonna do Fan Fest. Like, is this gonna be like a Comic-Con style, like dress up and everything, or what?
Yeah, not quite as big, more intimate. It'll probably be up to sort of 500 guests sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And it's like, are these just all people that create comics?
Yeah.
Okay, dude, I'm so down with that. Well, you don't even get, I'll throw in another random thing, is that when I was young, when I was like 10 years old, me and my friend created our own comic books it was called Moldy Men. It sounds so dumb because it kind of was. We were obsessed with Captain Underpants. I don't know if you know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. It's like a comic book style, like book series that like is
It's
totally
written
weird.
by an Australian.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know all about it then, and you're being sarcastic.
No, I do know about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we were obsessed with that, and then we made our own thing. And like my little guy was a little cheese block called Cheesehead, and his was Captain Squishy, and it's like a little ball with wings, and it's so dumb. But what's amazing, man, is I still have them, and we wrote tons of them, and I have a folder full of these. So it's really cool to look back, and you're like 10 years old, and you have like the weirdest imagination of all time. Yeah, and I haven't really written comic books since then, but it's funny that at a moment of time I was like into it, especially at a moment in time where comic books weren't cool. Like when I was 10, dude, nobody cared. That was before the MCU, you know, and once the MCU happened, it changed things a lot. But, you know, yeah, man. Anyways, yeah. So you think the Fan Fest is going to be in Florida?
Sorry, I just dropped out there. Yeah, it'll be in Orlando. We're just working out the exact dates.
Right on. Well, yeah, and the world's so weird that like nothing can even, you can't even plan stuff. It's annoying. You know. Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm trying to get to Japan and hop Australia, then Japan. I mean, that's something I've been planning for a long time. I've been trying to get it to happen. It was supposed to happen this November, and now I gotta wait for whatever amount of time till the world lets me, you know. So
Cool.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'll totally join you again. That was fun.
All right. Cheers.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. See you.
Wow. What did you think about him, chat? He was awesome, or what? Give him a score out of 10 in terms of entertainment and skill. What do you think, Lee?
I mean, like he knew how to play guitar. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, tell me how you find yourself on Twitter, following Jen Bartel.
Do I follow her?
All right. Well, tell me how you find yourself on Twitter commenting in a comic book forum about creators.
I don't know. The Twitter algorithm like put something in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a conscious choice.
No. If you had a conscious choice, what sort of things would you be tweeting about?
I mean, I tweet about like animation shows.
Mm-hmm. What kind of animation shows?
I'm watching Kipo. Just fun and colorful.
Is that the one that's on Netflix?
Yeah, Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want you to tell me about. There's people in the audience that are saying you're gay, but you're not gay, are you? You're asexual.
Yeah.
I don't really understand that, so explain that to me.
It just means that I don't really take part in like any of it.
Yeah. So you don't
like kind of where the original tweet came from. It's just like it, you know. It seems silly to go do something, you know, to get girls because that's not something I would do.
Mm. And do you think that it's sort of your view of the world is like a sort of standard view, or do you think you're an outlier?
I mean, it's definitely not standard.
Why? So when you say you can't understand it, do you think it's more like it's you personally can't understand it? It's not like you can't empathize, but you could probably could you put yourself in a heterosexual man's shoes? Like, is that something you can do?
You know, the concept of desire is not like a foreign thing, you know. I mean, like, I can understand.
Right.
But letting that control your actions is something, because I've never had that happen. I've never had, you know, something like overriding, you know, rationality. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna like jump off a cliff to like impress some girls. This is like not something, You know, it's not like a biological imperative that I've experienced.
But you could see that it is that way for a lot of other men in particular, and for a lot of women as well.
Yeah.
So why do you think it's a bad thing?
There's better things to do than jumping off cliffs, I guess. I don't know. After like, I don't know, how long have 20,000 years, 10,000 years?
What's that?
Like, you know, we would evolve beyond, you know.
Evolve beyond sex?
Yeah, and now I'm getting into like, you know, transhuman, like, you know, philosophy, like the transhumanist movement.
Oh, I don't know anything about it. Tell me about that.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's getting to like some like sci-fi shit of like,
that's fun.
you know, like you know, download our brains into computers, or like, you know, get our brains into jars, so we're just, you know, a single mind.
Brains in jars.
Yeah, a lot of like, there's like overlap in like the cryogenics kind of stuff, where like, you know, you want to like freeze yourself so you can like go into the future.
Yeah.
So,
Boss, if I can
yeah,
jump
Colette,
in here.
what's your opinion on this?
What's up? Yeah. So I'm just wondering, do you actually consider that it might be an imbalance in kind of your hormones? Maybe you don't produce the same amount of certain hormones as other normal people. Well, yeah, you know, normal in air quotes.
We don't use the word normal here, Cole.
So you're asking if it's like a medical abnormality?
That's what he's asking.
Yeah, basically medical or genetic, or I don't know. Do you think so? Or
I've thought about it, but I don't know. There's some amount of pride, you know, being like slightly different. You know, I appreciate the way that I think, because it's the way that I think. You know, I mean, like it's like it's being my worldview, and I have some amount of pride within it. And I feel like a lot of people have that. You know, if you can like, you know, if you could like medicate away certain viewpoints, like, is that something you'd want?
yeah, no. Definitely.
I'm not sure. You know what might be an interesting juxtaposition is someone who had a strong sex drive and then lost their sex drive. But I think that even those people would still be able to understand that other people other than themselves have desires that they don't have, and it doesn't make it a negative thing or a positive thing. Really, it's just a thing. What do you think about that?
The I understand desires, but like doing things purely to, you know, meet those desires seems like a simplistic way to live. You know, if you're just like entirely ruled by your id, you know, if you're like, you know, making long cross country trips, you know, fueled entirely by your id, you know, it seems like you can, you know, like, you know, we're endowed with a certain amount of rationality, like everyone.
So your idea of heaven would be like to be a brain in a jar and just processing information.
Oh, that is yeah, that's absolutely the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Just like plug me into Wikipedia for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What do you think? What do you think about that, Colin?
Yeah, the thing is, personally, I wouldn't want that. But yeah, so the thing is, I'm wondering, haven't you ever like felt left out, kind of by the rest of your friends if they maybe go out, try to hook up or something, or
Sorry,
yeah,
repeat that?
just find someone else. Yeah. So the thing is, I'm just wondering, do you have you ever felt kind of left out because you don't have sort of the same drive as perhaps some of your friends have? If you who regularly go out and try to pick up girls or something.
Oh yeah, like absolutely. Like high school, college. Like I would much. I never thought of it as being a nerd, but it was just because I'd be like, no, I want to like talk about this book. I find this book more important than like trying to pick go to bars. Or like go to bars and then like I would want to talk about a certain current event rather than small talk, flirting or whatever. And like it never felt like, oh, I'm a nerd. It just felt like I just don't find these things important. So yeah, like there's a lot of things where like people find things important and central, and they want to spend time, and it just doesn't not work.
So I take it you're quite an introvert then.
I mean, I can. I don't know if an introvert would be so open to random people. Like I'm extroverted about things I find important.
Yeah, I'm talking more about the sense of an introvert usually recharges their energy when they're away from people, whilst an extrovert needs to be around people to kind of recharge their energy.
I mean, if the people are talking about like the Fed buying ETFs, like I could talk about that for hours. But like if they're talking about how hot someone's ass is, I'm fucking checking out.
Yeah. No.
Do you live on your own, Lee?
I live with a professor family.
How does that work?
I'm like renting a room.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And I rent a room and I got my own bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a shared kitchen.
So how come, like, you work at the university, don't you?
Yes.
So you would have an awful lot of people coming and going from your sphere of friendship. Why is it been so difficult for you to have like constant friendship?
I get bored a lot, and just the small talk is just not something I'm like interested in. So and you can't just like jump into like what do you think about Colts? What do you think about John Baudrillard? Like,
why not?
It's like a whole like section of like early stage relationships that just like don't appeal to me.
Have you felt that this has been all small talk?
No, like we're talking about heavy stuff. We're talking about thought processes. We're talking about.
So
you can't open up a conversation and be like, "Hey, I'm asexual. Let me talk about that."
That's how I generally talk to people.
I mean, like you have a certain amount of. This is your show.
No, I mean in real life.
Oh.
Yeah, in real life. I enjoy finding out about people and asking the direct questions.
and you're more courageous than I am.
Are you? Do you think it's a shyness thing?
Perhaps, maybe.
Hmm.
Maybe I just
Okay.
I've never seen it done. You know, like it's always portrayed on TV and films as there's a certain curve to a conversation.
Hmm. And explain to me how like you've absorbed that sort of that media that's been pushed onto you, and like that is your way to behave socially. Like how has that occurred to you? Is this like how were you brought up to be like that, or like did you have a lot of guidance from your family, or like was the TV your babysitter sort of thing?
I'm not gonna say that like I didn't have strong parental figures, but I also like most of my childhood memories is watching like Rugrats.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's there hasn't been a huge amount of socializing in your life. So a lot of the modes of socializing have come through media.
Oh, definitely.
It's interesting because we're quite interested this show and this audience and these people. We're quite interested in the way that media has an influence on young minds and how media can push a certain narrative and push people towards a certain way of acting and thinking that may perhaps not be beneficial to them. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, sorry to cut in. Yeah. Also, just kind of how much of it people actually believe. Do they believe all
Sorry?
of it? Do they trust the media in general? Yeah.
What was your point there, Colin? What about the media?
No, so sorry, I just wanted to add to the question.
Yep.
But basically, we're this audience, we're quite interested also in just how much of a certain narrative that the media might be like supporting. Kind of just normal people out there follow and actually believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the Voigt-Kampf test? Do you know what they're referring to here?
I've heard it before. What is it?
You see a turtle walking down the path, and it gets flipped over on its back. What do you do?
Oh, is it like an empathy test for robots?
Yeah. They're having a laugh at you. They're having a laugh at the idea of a brain, a person wanting to be a brain in a jar.
See, I would think that would be a more popular opinion, but I guess not.
No. I put a 1 in the chat if you think that being a brain in a jar would be a good thing. 1 in the chat.
Any of these comments?
You haven't seen any of them?
I just haven't really been reading them.
No, that's all right. I always advise guests not to read the comments when they're trying to talk.
Yeah, that's usually best.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating meeting someone like you because I think we don't get to see the other side of perhaps the pop culture aisle that we reside in, and it's very fascinating to see the other side, your point of view. It's very interesting, Lee. I'm not, and you're quite a handsome fellow.
Best public face for leftism, though.
Oh, look, we don't have a problem with leftists here. Would you define yourself as a social justice warrior?
I mean, I don't think I'm active enough to be called that.
No.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're not big fans of social justice around here, in terms of the social justice warriors, because we're a bit concerned about cancel culture.
I mean, do you think it exists?
Definitely
What does what exist?
Like cancel culture. I mean, like, I don't really see people.
A good example is
successful
Kevin Hart getting cancelled and not hosting the Oscars, just because of some old tweet, I believe.
Are you talking about Kevin Hart?
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, that to me, that's quite an obvious example of cancel culture. Don't know if you agree or not.
You agree? I'm not totally familiar with the Kevin Hart situation. Why don't you explain it to us, Lee?
It was I don't know, like a 10-year-old tweet. It was very old. That they kind of like went back and brought up. Or it might have been newer. I don't know. Yeah, so and he lost the gig, and they did a hostless Oscars, and it was, I mean, it was almost better because it was super streamlined Oscars ceremony.
You think it was better for him?
Oh, no, I mean, but he's fine. He has like so many shows.
Well, the thing is, I believe it was actually like a lifelong dream of his to host the Oscars, which they just kind of crushed.
So what do you think about that in terms of cancel culture sort of thing? Because that would be evidence that it would exist, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The Academy is they pour so much money into the Oscar ceremony that they get very, very testy and just make a lot of rash decisions. Like I do believe that was a rash decision. Like they didn't give him time to like apologize or like respond.
What's up,
now,
guys?
there's also hey Berserk. Just got one more question for Lee, and then I'll
I
let
don't
you
believe in like
over.
the cultural reaction and like being like a cultural reactionary.
Right. We definitely don't want any cultural reactionary.
That's the difference, is being like a reactionary and being like actually like having a social goal and like having steps and like working towards what you want culture to look like.
Right.
Like saying like, oh, like there should be more minority directors. Like there are stories that we're missing being told. It's like there are interesting stories that haven't made it into theaters.
If you have a good story, it will be told. If you have a good story that will sell, it will be told, no matter what your race is.
Well, I'm not so sure about modern day. It still works like that.
Okay. I have a serious question for you, Lee. Are you a virgin?
Yeah.
I knew it. I know someone like you talks just like you. He doesn't know what it's like to be with a woman. Or with a man, if you prefer.
I mean, I'm asexual. I feel like you missed a whole conversation.
Yeah, I know you are, but I'm just saying, anyone who's been with a woman knows how much they want to be with them again. Have you tried it?
Well, that's not necessarily true. I mean, Lee, would you masturbate like frequently or occasionally?
That's what I was getting at. But
No.
No. See, he doesn't have a constant sex drive, so that's not really a question that relates to him specifically.
I mean, it was just the premise of like you would, you'd make all your decisions about getting like inside a woman once again. Is like it's like some like
that's
weird.
kind of the point of life, reproduction.
I mean, I feel like there's more to life
than reproduction. It's kind of bred into every man and woman, like unless there's something wrong with you, in my opinion.
I mean, there's art. There's like.
See, this is the problem with our world. Like, it's too good. Like, everyone's got it too easy. This guy, like, he worries about things that do not matter at all. It's just something, I don't know. I can't figure him out.
Well, Berserk, that's what we're here to do, to figure this man out. So we're not going to be passing any serious judgments on him.
Okay.
You know? Ask some more questions. Like, let's what don't you understand about him?
A lot. I don't think I want to know him like at all. But yeah, you said that like everyone thinks they can make a TV show earlier, right? Do you think you can make a TV show or a movie?
I mean, I said it started like there are like a tons of just like like up and coming writers. And so it would be, a huge amount of arrogance to think that like my script is the one.
I'm always angry. You kind of remind me of like Ryan Johnson. You do. Like you have no direction, and you think you can like just write something in to a 3-part movie, and it's going to be good. You have to have some kind of story you want to tell. And you can't fuck with like history. It seems like you are trying. I don't know.
Are you fucking with history, Lee? I don't think you're fucking with history.
No, like it's kind of like a
political point of civilization.
I don't. Like, I don't want to.
Doomed. Are we going to all become?
You? I hope not. I hope the future is different. And I can still have sex.
The future that you're describing is like, a bunch of dogs rutting in the gutter.
Yeah. Look at my name. It's exactly my history. That's what you should be. You should have some kind of like man drive to further yourself or further like your family.
Well, I don't think that Lee has a very strong family connection.
I mean, because you got, I don't know, it's a narrow point of view. So I take it's like the end point of like a Western philosophy kind of stops at Nietzsche, and there being like some interesting things kind of in postmodernism, but like you go through neoclassicalism and you just end at Nietzsche, where like nothing matters. And I mean it's simplistic. He has a lot of other stuff. But like if you take that premise that like nothing matters, and there's like scientific things to back that up, because we are but a speck and like in a huge universe, so it's expanding. Like that, then you have to find your own meaning, and I don't think like my meaning is that like there are a few beautiful things in the world and you just like find them.
I think that way of thinking is what's prevalent in Hollywood and comics right now. Like you have to respect where things came from. You can't just like make a utopia and like think people will buy your shit. Like there's got to be some kind of conflict, some kind of like need or drive. Like you're thinking, I mean, I don't know, man. Are you a writer?
I mean, I write some stuff.
What sort of things do you write?
I've like I know what goes in the story, like, you know, but it doesn't. Most stories are not about. I mean, like some B plots on sitcoms is about, you know, getting the girl, but like most stories are about, like, you know, overcoming a personal flaw, or like if you have a certain strength and that gets taken away for that episode or for that film, and then you're trying to get it back.
Yeah, but like if you want to write about what
family and about like community, about.
So you're just guessing then. You like have no idea what it's like to have sex with a woman, but you would write about it?
No, that's not what I mean. No, why would I write about getting the girl?
But you know what, Berserk? I don't know about asexuality, but I wouldn't have a problem putting an asexual character in my book.
Yeah, me neither.
Because I would have a chat to someone like Lee, and I would get inside his head, and I would say, look, tell me about yourself, Lee, and then I'd write. I'd pick bits and pieces from his mind and I'd put it in the character. So he could very well do the same for someone like you.
Like that, you could say the same thing about like social justice and shit that's rammed down our throat. I don't want to be a social, like whatever they're putting in movies now isn't going to change me. I don't care. Like it might change little kids that don't know like better or like better art. Like they get them while they're young. It's a programming thing, I think. And they're trying to steer our culture through bullshit. I think a lot of untalented people who think they're talented get into positions of power, and it's not good. And I don't know. This dude just reminds me of Ryan Johnson. Like there's something about him. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just Ryan Johnson is definitely like very much in his own head and has a problem like explaining that. I mean, but like I hated Last Jedi, but I loved Knives Out. Like Knives Out is a sweet film.
Yeah, it was a very good film. I agree with you on that one.
Like I was really happy that like he made Knives Out like immediately afterwards, so that we could just like, you know, there was only like, you know, one, you know, scar mark against like what I hope to be like an illustrious indie career. Just like don't put him don't give him franchises. Just let him make his own weird films.
Yeah, Lee, you do kind of look a little bit like just. He says Justin Bateman. I think it's Jason Bateman, isn't it?
I've gotten that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. I think you're wasting your luscious hair and your good looks on asexuality.
I wish I was born a long time ago. Like, I'll take the 1400s over this shit that we're in right now. Like, I would rather be a fucking caveman than be anything like sitting in a room looking at the wall and not want to like further my family or like I don't get it.
You know what I'm interested in? I'm interested in what Testify thinks.
Oh no, bring him on. Get him in here.
Well, I want to know where this show is. You don't know, Lee, but there's this fellow named Testify HD, and he's supposed to be starting a rival channel to mine, and he's supposed to go live 1 minute before I do. But it's been 3 days now, and he still hasn't done it. Testify, you need to come on and explain yourself, my friend.
Yes, Testify. Come in.
Is it like a rival, like in the same vein, or is he like, you know, contradicting, you know, the theses you're putting out? Is he just trying
these are all questions that need to be asked for Testify. I think we're not quite sure.
I thought he did a trash compactor show or something. the other
I
day.
thought that he was going to do a Star Wars show.
Yeah, but it all ended up like them talking about EVS, I think, in comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We
I think I
don't
didn't
talk
watch
about
it.
EVS. We don't talk about EVS on this
I
show.
know. That's a no-no, right?
Yeah.
Although it
Do you
was
know
awesome.
who Ethan Van Sciver is, Lee?
Wait, where do I know that name from?
He draws this book called Cyberfrog,
Cyber.
and
No.
he's part of a comics movement called Comicsgate.
Yeah. Did he do Peterson's?
Yes, he did the
Oh,
12
yeah.
Rules for Life illustrations.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's right. I don't know if I knew him from Peterson's book.
What do you think about Peterson's book?
Oh, it was boring. It was like something like real like basic like slogans that he rambled on about.
What kind of slogans? I haven't read the book myself, so I don't know.
I mean, I read it. I don't even know when it came out.
I believe it came out 3 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like a stand up straight kind of stuff. Like it was like old Midwestern kind of stuff of like self reliance. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like the first like half was like just really basic slogans, and then he got into like boys should be boys and girls should be girls.
Yeah.
What are the antithesis of your life?
I mean, I believe in self-reliance. I don't.
I was talking about the boys should be boys and girls should be girls.
Oh yeah, I mean like a weird like a dichotomy.
Well, you wouldn't fall within that spectrum, would you? You'd fall within the LGBTQA plus spectrum.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But some of the fun about being asexual is that you get to write off it like you can just ignore all of it because it just doesn't affect you.
Does it not affect you? Because I mean, you must have difficulties in society that other people don't have difficulties with.
No, I mean, so it's this. I don't know how deep into subjectivism you want to get.
Very.
Okay, so I mean, it's because it doesn't affect because like in my job, like it doesn't. Like when someone sees me, they like subjectively just like, okay, it's a guy,
Right.
and like I guess some weird people like I don't know, like I don't know if people go around and like they look at people in the street and like I wonder who they're fucking, so like when I meet someone, like most people aren't they're just like, okay, that's a guy.
I asked that question to a lot of women. Like, I wonder if they're single, if they're fucking someone. Yeah, I do.
Like immediately?
Yeah, pretty much.
But you don't know though. So it's just like questions.
It's just what I would be thinking if they're cute and I'm attracted to them.
But is your assumption that they're like heterosexual, or is it like?
Well,
if you see someone passing on the street and like you'll do like a quick scan, like body, like you'll do like body. You're like, okay, is that body like attractive? Is that face attractive?
Yeah.
If it's yes, then you're like, okay, I wonder if I could fuck her.
Yeah.
So like the assumption is that like she is heterosexual just because that's like the statistical norm.
Yes. That's what I'm gonna assume until I talk to her.
Yeah, but like if you're just like passing on the street, like you're probably like you have somewhere to go, she has somewhere to go.
Well, is she holding another woman's arm, or is she walking down the street alone?
But that's the thing. Like, if she has like another woman on her arm, like that's where
Well, I'd want to fuck both of them, I think.
It's there's this philosopher called for let me see if I can it's a French name for Foucault. F-O-U-C, I don't know how to spell it.
Foucault.
Yeah,
It's F-A-C-A-U-L-T.
Sure. He has this idea that like you have to, it's about constantly outing yourself. So like, you know, if you just find like a single woman walking down the street, you just assume she's heterosexual. But then like it's and like she like in your mind, even if she's not, like subjective, like it's a subjective, you know, fact in your mind that she's heterosexual, and that's not going to change unless she like does something to out herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so for me, it's just anyone who sees me in the subjective fact is like, oh, heterosexual guy.
Well, you could turn that around. If a gay guy is hitting on me, he still thinks he's going to be able to fuck me, even though I'm straight, no matter how many times I say it. Like, there's gay guys like that too.
Yeah, and that's a subjective fact in their mind.
Yeah.
I find this like train of thought interesting because it goes to like acting. Because it goes into like the philosophies of acting of like, you know, if and just like in the philosophies of you know, sex, of like are you straight like when you're not, you know, actively outing yourself. Like if you're just walking around, you're not anything, you know, because there's nothing, there's no objective fact other than that inside of your own mind that makes you, you know, straight. Like you had to be like, you know, kissing a woman, holding hands with a woman, you know, fucking a woman.
No.
Like those acts that are actively outing yourself.
No, but you can think it.
Yeah, but that's only inside your mind. It is not objective for anyone else.
Yeah, but that leads to like something more. You go up and talk to them, like it's a natural thing. Like, if you find someone attractive, you go up and talk to them, and that's like an anomaly in our generation now, or something. Like, I don't know, man. I know a girl. She's like, no one's asked me out in like fucking 3 years. It's weird. Like, it's like people are scared to approach women now, and it's through our culture. It's like becoming bad to do. So I think a lot of people think it. A lot of people will think, oh yeah, she's pretty cute, and they won't do anything about it.
I mean, I don't know. I guess other people have goals, have like other goals. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't know, man.
I mean, like the population is still rising. Like it's not like.
Is that a bad thing? Are you a global warmist?
I mean, are we going to argue about whether global warming exists?
Well, it usually goes back to people are bad who like think global warming is happening. So yeah.
Oh, just like you know,
the population needs to be decreased.
Oh no, I'm like, yeah, I'm not like. There's a word like a genocidalist.
Mm-hmm.
Kill half the population. No, there's some like concrete like stats we could take. There's the world.
Well, Berserk, I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute.
All right, man. Yeah.
Is there anything specific that you would like Lee to explain to you? Like what?
No, I'll leave him with this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You should really go on the internet and look up gorilla fucking, and it might change your whole view. Like gorilla fucking. There's some good videos.
Two apes just going at it?
No. It's when you get behind a girl and you get gorilla style on her, right? Like a silverback. They call it silverbacking. Get into that shit.
It's just like hate fucking?
No.
Right, I'll look it.
It might change your whole world view. I'm telling you.
I think we all have some homework tonight. Thank you, Berserk Guts.
I'll leave you with that, Oz. Love you, man.
All right. Thank you, Berserk. All right. Colin,
Thanks,
do you want to say anything before we go?
Well, let's see. If everyone can, you can back Street Champion Road Warrior Drake, which is coming out soon. I believe last night was 9 days. Yesterday, so it should be in 8 days. Yeah, sign up for the mailing list at roadwarriordrake.com. And yeah.
That's the best plug I've ever heard, Collie. I can understand a single word you said. What book are you trying to plug?
Okay, so Street Champion,
Street Champion,
Warrior, Drake.
Road Warrior. Okay.
Drake.
Street Champion, Road Warrior, everyone. That's the one with the cool hillbilly advertisement.
Well, it's the.
Is that right?
No, it's not a duck.
It's about a duck.
No, it's like Lasmat has this thing like.
Oh, I see. A male
you
duck,
shouldn't
like
call it
a
duck.
drake. Road
Yeah.
Warrior Drake, as in a duck.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So it's
he's not a duck. Yeah,
he's not a duck.
yeah. Apparently, it's a mutant. So
Oh, it's a mutant that
Yeah.
looks like a duck. So is it like a mutant that has a beak?
yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask Lasmat about it. He's
Okay.
the
A
creator.
lasmat.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but with ducks.
I don't really know. The thing is, I just made something for the kids' activity book, so
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
plugging it. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Well, Alasmat Films, if you want to come on and tell us a bit more about your street fighting mutant duck, yeah, send me a DM and I'll have you on and you can chat to us about it. All right. Thanks, Coley. Is there anything you want to say before you go, Lee?
No, I mean, thanks for having me on.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I always like talking about things that I know about.
Yeah.
Tourism.
So did you have a good time? Did you find that this was a good use of your time, that it was a positive experience for you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I enjoy, speaking to people that like have nicely conflicting views, but different views. That's what one of my favorite roommates was like a hardcore Christian, which like, I don't know, like if it's too obvious, but like that's something that would not interest me.
Right.
But it was just like fascinating to live with someone who like, their entire worldview was through like Ecclesiastes,
There's a campaign that we're promoting at the moment. It's called Slaughterhouse. It's about this. It's 2D animated. It's by a man who worked on the Rick and Morty show. Have you seen Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's made this comic book, and it's got an awesome trailer. Maybe we should bring you on with him, and you can talk to him about 2D animation. What do you think about that?
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll line that up for a future brief, if you're happy to come on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If I didn't make too much of a fool of myself, yeah.
No. Everyone was very pleased with you. All right. Thank you so much for coming on and providing an alternative viewpoint. Yeah. And I'll catch you later.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Have a nice.
So, everyone, what did you think of that? What did you think of tonight's show? I think we all learned something tonight, don't you? I think that it's a very interesting viewpoint of the other side of the aisle for us. I think that it's important that we be able to see the people who are making these comments on these forums and bring them into our lives so that we can actually get a good understanding of the challenges, the influence that mass media perhaps has on young minds. So I think that what we're doing is still very important. I think that it is very important that we keep putting the content out there that you know, that we think is important for the average consumer to consume. Something that perhaps is not as formulaic and pushing in a specific agenda as perhaps what Lee has been exposed to through, I would say, poor parenting practices. Also, you know, this is an intelligent person who has found himself in a bit of a quandary, and he's in a bit of a spot where he's talking to himself and he's in his own head, you know, and this is the alternate consumer that we don't talk about. All right. Brother Gaius, I just threw my TV in the dumpster. Yep. Step away from the television. Turn off the television and throw it away. But no, seriously, I mean, you know, I'll be very interested to have him on and have Sergeant Slaughter on, and that'll be great. I think it'll be great. And what did you think about the guitar tonight? I thought that was awesome. So we're definitely going to have Cinex on again because he was great. All right, everybody. Tonight's the Jack Show. So I think it's probably, what is it there? It's probably, I'm trying to think of what the time is there. It must be getting towards lunchtime. So probably in about 6 or 7 hours, we'll have the Jack Show on. So go see the Jack Show. I will maybe be able to catch it. I might need to sleep though. But otherwise, I'll see you in the chat there. And everybody have a really good day or good evening.